There was some exciting racing at the first stop of AMSOIL Arenacross in Worcester, Massachusetts, with some bar-banging action and tight racing. Mike McDade took his first overall of the year on Saturday night, and Zach Ames on his Kawasaki took over the points lead following a rough night for the defending champ, Tyler Bowers. Just a few blocks from the Inner Harbor here in Baltimore, Maryland for stop number 2 of AMSOIL Arenacross, featuring Ricky Carmichael's Road to Supercross on Fox Sports 1. Welcome inside the Baltimore Arena. Hello, everybody. I'm Robbie Floyd. This is GL Grant Langston, the Supercross and Motocross star of years gone by. Christy Lee will be with us here in just a moment. But at stop number 2 here in Baltimore, I don't think you can get any more electricity than is in the air right now, Grant, because at stop number 1 at Worcester, you saw pros that are been going at it for years head-to-head, but also some rookies in the mix. I mean, neither one of these guys wanted to back down.
Absolutely. Worcester was great racing. Exactly what we were hoping for the opening round of the 2014 AMSOIL Arenacross. We saw things like Tyler Bowers, a seasoned veteran, making simple mistakes, losing the front end, coming out of a turn in a rut. But the track was very, very tough. Doughy, spongy, a lot of ruts, taking guys down, made results very inconsistent. But what I was mostly impressed by was some of the rookies coming in, Jacob Hayes, straight away, putting his name on the map, going at Bowers and saying, I ain't afraid to back down. I'm here for good. I'm expecting some great racing.
That's what's special about the Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross. You have these young guns that aren't afraid. After last night's race, the championship points has Tyler Bowers now moving into 3rd.
Number 1, Tyler Bowers. Definitely a difficult weekend for the open of the season last weekend. Let's talk about Saturday night racing. You finished main 1 in 12th position and main 2 in 14th. Definitely not used to seeing you that far back. Tell us more about the race and what happened.
The first night went great for me. I came off with 2 wins and it went good. So the second night, just had some problems. I couldn't keep people off me. I think I got hit by 4 different guys in one main event, and that's the most I've ever been hit by other riders. So I just salvaged the weekend. The second night, I was going good. I moved up to like 5th or 6th place. My ankle was a little sore from one of the guys hitting me, and I ended up just going down on my own right at the end with 2 laps to go. So I just threw it away myself on that one. So, it happens, and we're here salvaging points this weekend, and it's a long season, It ain't my first rodeo. I think I can still wrap up this title.
It's definitely not his first rodeo. Now let's take a look at this track with the GoPro track preview with the new GoPro Hero 3 Plus. Daniel Blair on board.
As we go down the start straight here, coming into that first left-hand turn for these riders. This week, a little double before you enter the whoops, but you carry your momentum, and we're blitzing this week, not having a time like last week. This has got a slight elevation on the stage. Oh, and a couple riders tangling there. I'm sure we're going to see that this evening. Now coming to a slightly different whoop section, more of rollers. You can time those, you try and skim them. Coming up to the catapult jump here, which is always the finish line, into this right-hander, and that is a lap here at Baltimore.
Let's take a look at last night's racing. Good start for the number 4, kind of picking up where he left off at round number 1, Mike McDade.
Jumping in that number 2 ride, Kyle Regal going through this first set of whoops. McDade looking good out front on that Kawasaki.
Yeah, he's in it for the long haul. He says, I'm going to try and win the championship this year. If not, I may be done with racing altogether. Number 3 of Zach Ames. He looked good, but nobody was faster than Mike McDade in main event number 2 last night, taking the overall win with that main event 2 victory. Well, they're piling in here in Baltimore. It's time to fire things up when we return. It's heat race action coming up next here on Fox Sports 1. Welcome back to Baltimore, Maryland. It's time to fire things up with heat race number 1. Robbie Floyd with Grant Langston, Christy Lee down on the floor. And it's now heat racing time. You want to try and qualify directly from your heat into the main event and get in that 16-rider field.
And not to forget, too, as we were mentioning, the top 4 go to that head-to-head bracket race for some important championship points. Coming to turn 1, they come out, a couple riders getting caught up in the first turn. Out in front, oh, Jacob Hayes grabbing that lead early.
Hayes not afraid to mix it up with the established veterans. Also in last night's main event action, Aaron Plessinger, who we'll see in the next heat, another Road to Supercross rookie. He showed everybody what's up, taking his first main event win. So this just shows you that these guys are trying to develop their skills here and maybe step into that Monster Energy Supercross series soon.
Absolutely, but you know, you look at someone like Hayes, and you know, we're talking about him being a newcomer and a rookie. He looks like a seasoned veteran. He's carrying a lot of momentum, riding aggressive when he needs to, but very smart and smooth, and actually stretching it out over Skaggs at the moment, giving himself a little bit of breathing room, like we've talked about in Arenacross. You give yourself a couple bike length lead, you don't have to block the inside, you can run your own lines.
Have to be aggressive as well, as we saw at the last round. The 641 in the background, Keith Tucker, find your favorite rider. Only 7 move on. This is a 10-lap heat race, and Hayes showing that he's got the style, and he's very smooth right now while he's out in front. Really no pressure. Nathan Skaggs in second, just behind him. The 641, Keith Tucker, one of those Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross competitors. I mean, this kid looks good. Triangle Cycles, Yamaha, sponsored by Answer, going to the inside. Ooh. Not able to make the pass there. That little on and off section where the start is.
He shows Skaggs the wheel. He's got the inside. Will he be aggressive? Yeah, it was aggressive, but I think Skaggs gave him a little bit of room. Skaggs back on the inside, but unable to get in there with a tight angle. So it's starting to bunch up, this little battle for second and the rest of the transfer positions. Top 7, remember, going straight to that main event.
Right, but those top 4 go to the head-to-head. You see Corey Green starting to stick in the picture in a big way. Look at the number 19 out of Newada, Oklahoma. The yellow Suzuki, number 19. He wants to get in there into that head-to-head. Oh, and down goes Skaggs.
When he came out of that whoop section, he kind of tagged that last one. Coming into that turn, it unsettled the bike. Just with the slicker dirt that is a little bit different from last week. Probably the guys still kind of getting the feel for it, just losing the front end. But not losing the front end is our leader. Number 90, Jacob Hayes, out front, getting over that, you know, whoop section. We're talking about guys going back to that kind of rhythming through it.
This track's more like we're accustomed to with Arenacross. Different type dirt, not the spongy, you know, wet stuff we saw up in the Northeast last week. This is a more atypical Arenacross style, minus the start, which is cool how you jump off that platform there.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, they got that little drop off from the start, and then even this turn right here, you can't really tell on TV, but it's elevated onto the stage area theoretically, so it's kind of upsetting the bike and the suspension a little bit. It doesn't sound that crazy, but it could be interesting. Coming around.
You see the 471 starting to move in the picture. Kyle Regal, maybe he can get into that head-to-head. Remember, only the 7 riders move on. Kyle White right around that bubble. You do not want to ride that last chance qualifier, and right now this guy doesn't want anything but a first place. Jacob Hayes, he impressed me the first week. He's impressed me maybe even more now because he's just checking out. These rookies they're tough.
Well, he has that battle for that 3rd position, and as we're saying, these guys wanting to get that head-to-head bracket race for those extra points, looking pretty tight. Regal just lurking there as we switch back to the front here. Tucker coming through the whoops. You can see they're starting to get a little bit cupped out. The bikes are starting to dance around just a little bit more.
How much bike setup difference between last week and you may have this week with the different terrain?
You know, Robbie, I think there's actually going to be quite a bit of changes, whether it's tires, suspension, engine, even the way they're using the clutch. We saw Tyler Bowers really adjusting that clutch last week because they were so hard on it. But here we are on this last lap. Hayes coming around, comfortable lead, just got to keep it on 2 wheels.
Stays on top of that rhythm section, makes the left-hander going to that head-to-head with a heat race victory here in heat number 1 in Baltimore. As the top 7 file their way through, they move on to that main event. Kyle White was able to hold on to 7th. Daniel Blair is going to have to ride the LCQ with the rest. Let's go down to the victory podium with Christy Lee.
Number 90, Jacob Hayes, definitely a strong start to the season this year. Here we are, round 2, taking the Heat 1 win. Congratulations on that. What's your plan going into the main tonight?
Well, you know, I had a little bit of a rough night last night, and plan was to get a good start tonight and ride consistent and be on top of the podium. This is a good way to start it, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the night.
You should be, Mr. Hayes, as well as Mike McDade, who won the overall last night, and he's the new points leader.
Everything's been so smooth. I actually didn't do any riding leading up to the series. You know, I got a good motor this year, a good team. I've been consistent, I'm not burned out. I actually just started back in the gym 2 weeks ago, so I'm kind of coming in just having fun and building confidence, and now that I'm back in the gym, I'm building strength. So as soon as the points drop, I feel like I'm gonna be way better than I was last year. Motorsport's a pretty big backer for the team, and the MJM Express stepped up last minute. And it was a relief because last year I was getting $500 a weekend or so from a sponsor to go, but I was spending $1,500 a weekend. So we got together, I brought some of my personal sponsors to the team, and then he brought his sponsors, and I showed up, and I think I got every hole shot so far, so it's good. It's like a positive atmosphere. Everything's positive, and no matter how it goes, it's just like we're here to have fun, and versus we got to come here and win. I couldn't be happier with the way it's went so far. Man, I would love to win. I'd be happy with a top 3, but as long as I better my number each year, I'd be happy with it. So Tyler's on a three championship streak, and somebody's got to stop it, or he's going to keep doing it. So you get a win against Bowers and Ames, and Skaggs and Browning, it's one thing, but you don't know what to expect. So for me to come out the first round, and man, it definitely gave me some more push and drive. So yeah, pumped.
We'll see how Mike McDade does when we come back. It's heat race number 2 from Baltimore. Fun for the whole family here at AMS Oil Arenacross. The Riders family, that is, as they show up to check out the facility. There's Jeff Gibson. Good to have him back in the series. As we get ready for heat race number 2, a dominating performance in heat race number 1. Who's going to step up to the plate? The Riders scrolling at the top of your screen. We see the number 1 of Tyler Bowers in this one.
And we see the red plate on McDade as the gate drops. Coming home. A couple of riders going the wrong way there. Tight arena racing. Sometimes not enough room for everyone. A couple more going down that first turn. But out front, McDade, the championship leader, right where he wants to be.
He said he's gotten every hole shot. He can keep that streak alive there, and that red number plate signifies he is the series points leader. And trying to stick a wheel in, there's Jeff Gibson, the man who come up oh so shy, oh so close last year at that final round in Denver. He almost had that number 1 play.
Unfortunately for Gibby, running that number 2 again, but up near the front, coming back here to his first stop for Arenacross this season. So great to see him near the front. Right behind him, another newcomer, Aaron Plessinger, another rookie on board with the Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross. Great to see this young lad up front.
Yeah, Aaron won the first main event that he raced at AMS Oil Arenacross last night. He's showing up trying to do the same. Wasn't able to take the second main event. That's why he didn't get that overall, but very impressed. Look at the 57. Hanging back over that back end, very Mike Jones-ish back in the day of the 90s of Arenacross. And you can power through these whoops this weekend, unlike the having to find that rhythm of last weekend. And I think he started to put the pressure on the old favorite, the veteran, the 2009 champ, Jeff Gibson.
Well, how about Aaron Plessinger going up the inside and gets by Gibby? He probably took a look over his shoulder and saw the 3 and the 1 coming behind and thought, I better get a move on.
Now.
Right there, that was aggressive, was smart, and he's given himself a slight gap now over the 2 Kawasaki riders.
You're seeing the Babbitt's Monster Energy Kawasaki of Tyler Bowers trying to work his way up. There's his nemesis, Jeff Gibson, just in front, starting to wheel tap that whoop section. Watch the way they come into this. You see double up, and there's a conventional just slip the front end trying to get into it. But I'm seeing some of these guys just super blitz on the inside that time by Bowers. It gets by Gibby.
That's always been Tyler Bowers' ammo, is the whoops. He's strong, he's physical, and he stays on top. Zach Ames, very much alike. They have a lot of the same qualities. But now they're both in 3rd and 4th, which means not only do they qualify, they get to go into that head-to-head bracket race. And we've talked, when you're going for a title, it's crucial to make sure that you get at least guaranteed that 1 extra point.
We're on lap number 6 of 10, and we're starting to see some riders close up the 3 and 1. That gap is tightened out in front. We're seeing McDade and Plessinger starting to tighten up. You can see Bowers, this is for gate pick for the main event. Yes, it's only 1 position, but that's 1 gate pick earlier that he gets to choose where he lines up on that starting line. And he wants to look, he's setting up on the outside.
Well, whether he wants to gain another position or not, he knows that, and there he goes, up the inside. He's got Ames, but there again, Ames able to close that door, got a better angle at that corner, but it leaves the door open for Bowers up the inside. What's he going to do?
Gave him room.
What he does with his teammate all the time. He'll rub, but they don't slam, but still very aggressive racing with teammates. But I think part of it is Tyler's pace is probably a little quicker than Zach at the moment, and he can't hang back because he's got pressure coming up from behind as well. Gibson's right there, and we know he'll run it in.
Yeah, and Plessinger, that Yamalube Rockstar race, Star Racing Yamaha in second. Now look at him closing in on McDade. We're getting down to the last few moments of this race. Plessinger wants his heat race win. It's one thing to get the whole shot and, stay out in front. when you don't get the whole shot and catch up, that really kind of boosts the confidence, doesn't it?
He's getting 3 out of that rhythm, so he's closing up just a little bit. He looks aggressive. I love what I'm seeing. Comes up the inside. Oh! And runs it in there.
You got to be in it to win it. He put himself in that position, and now he swaps out.
That's all right. That was a controlled swap.
Yeah, right.
While he was out of control.
Yeah. Controls takes the white flag. One more lap to go. Let's see if McDade has anything for him. He's trying to square it up and get a straighter line. Triples out. Oh,
McDade's there.
But bump and run. He just couldn't bump him hard enough.
Yeah, I think if that was the main event, he would have stuck his elbow into that one and made sure he sealed the deal. But very impressed by Plessinger. Young rookie coming out, leading this heat race, and he earned it the hard way. Coming to the finish line. Number 57 takes his first heat race win.
Mike McDade in second as they file through there. There's Bowers and Ames. What a run, man. Exciting racing. This is the heat race. Still, we have LCQs in main events. Let's go down to Christy, who's with our winner, Aaron Plessinger.
Number 57, Aaron Plessinger, taking that Heat 2 win. You got to feel good about that. We missed you last weekend in our opening round in Worcester. Why are we seeing you now here in Baltimore? It's great to see a new face.
Oh yeah, I come here because Massachusetts was a little bit too far away, but I'm living in Georgia right now, and this is a little bit closer, and I come here to prove myself, and it looks like I'm doing that.
So funny. You see what it's like when you hold your breath for 3 laps? Well, Aaron Plessinger just showed you. We have head-to-head racing when we come back. Welcome back to AMSOIL Arenacross Baltimore, Maryland style. The heat races are done. In just a moment, we'll see the last chance qualifier. But first, the head-to-head racing. These are our top qualifiers from our heats. Guys like Plessinger, Regal, McDade, Green, Hayes, Ames, Tucker, and Bowers. But first up, the battle between Kyle Regal and Mike McDade. This should be a good one. We saw the aggressiveness of McDade earlier on, and Kyle Regal come from Supercross. He's a monster Supercross rider, now trying his wares in Arenacross.
Well, first thing you got to do is get out front. Problem is, you got one guy behind you, so you have to defend him. So it's a game of chess. Keep the inside closed, but you got to play a bit of offense and defense at the same time. Regal up the inside. He's got McDade on the outside, but as long as he keeps him on the outside, he can get by. They come over the finish line, get that white flag, 1 lap. See, he hugs the inside there, goes to the outside, taking the lines away. McDade triples into the section.
He's still going to be on the outside, though, but he squares it up. Now he's going to be set up on the inside. If he can get a wheel on him, you might see a stuff right here.
Carry
Regal.
the momentum in the whoops. Very smart, very smooth. Doing exactly what he has to do to stay out front. This is the final turn. I don't think McDade's close enough. He can't do anything about it. Nice win for Regal going on to that main event.
I thought I saw a lot of wheel spin from Mike McDade there, too. You talked about tire choice. That may be a factor later on in the night. 2 teammates of Babbitt's Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders head-to-head, and it's the number 1, Tyler Bowers, on top for now. Well, they look like twins, don't they?
Yeah. They actually even have a similar riding style, the way they go through whoops and everything. Very identical. Just the numbers, same gear, same team. Nice wheel tap.
I love that. That's pretty. Poetry in motion.
Exactly. I love that saying, too. So here we go. Bowers out front. Ames is either going to have to pretty much clean his friend and teammate out to get through, but I don't see that happening. Bowers with a couple bike length lead. He's strong here in the whoops. He's not going to lose any ground. Coming to this elevated turn, which has created some good, at least block passes after this whoop section, leaving this door open. But Bowers has got it. Ames nowhere to go. And Bowers is going to join Kyle Regal in that main event.
Oh, this could be good. We've already seen just how much Tyler Bowers has wanted the head-to-head battles, and he hasn't won every time that he's been in there. We've already saw at the first of the year Mr. Hayes taking the victory at the first stop when we were in Worcester, and here we have Regal with a hole shot over him, and he shuts the door early. You only have about a lap and 3/4 here in the head-to-head.
Well, if anyone can get it down, it's Regal. But as I say that, he leaves the door open. He comes up the inside. Very smart. Checked up, squared it up, got back underneath him. And that's what this Arenacross tight racing is all about.
Did you see Regal, though, when he came into that turn? Did you see how much inward lean he had? He's like, if you're going to bump me,
you're going to stand me upright rather than pump me off the track. There's a triple in the middle. He goes to the inside. Bowers, again, inward lean. Contact.
But he takes. I think the best part right there is he leans in, but he also takes Bowers' inside line. He gives him no room to go anywhere.
Absolutely. Coming to the final turn. Regal holds it tight. Oh,
you better go inside. I promise you he's going to tap you there. Kyle Regal, awesome. That's the way to take that extra point for the head-to-head matchup. We still got the last chance qualifier to go, and right now let's send it down to Christy Lee.
With the start of the new season and, of course, the return of Ricky Carmichael's road to Supercross Cross, we see a lot of young and up-and-coming riders like Plessinger, Tucker, Nichols, and those riders are forcing a lot of our Arena Cross veterans into the LCQ, the last chance to make tonight's main event. Veterans like David Ginolfi, Daniel Blair, and of course the number 5 of Kelly Smith, one of our top contenders here in Arena Cross.
Thanks a lot, Chrissy. Yeah, you look at this LCQ, you look on that front row, there's 3 single-digit numbers on that front row alone and another one behind. So it's not easy making the main events here. And when you do make the main event, you make 2. There's 2 a night in AMSOIL Arena Cross.
Well, you got to remember, things happen so quickly. One crash in your heat race and you're out. But here's your chance to redeem yourself. Gate drops. Who's out front?
Colt 45 on the inside, not able to hold on. It looks like number 7 trying to make that pass. Daniel Blair out of Lodi, California on the Frontier Lubricants KTM.
Old Blair's got some experience behind him, so if there's a guy you're going to bet on to play the race cool, it's Daniel Blair in this LCQ as he leads lap 1.
Yeah, here's a guy who said he was going to retire at the end of last year, starting up his own cab business, but he said to people at GoPro and some sponsors said that they support me. I want to try and give them as much love as I can, and they're doing that right now, watching him out in front of this last chance qualifier.
Well, not just that, but the guys say they're done with racing. They step away for a month or 2, and then they realize, who am I without racing? So I'm sure he's out here for the love of the sport, still giving it everything he's got. And you know what? If he keeps it on 2 wheels, he'll find himself in the main event once again.
A little bit shorter races here, only 8-lap LCQs. There's one rider going down there, and this is for the final transfer. The number 8 is on the outside end, but here comes on the inside, number 45, Colt Nichols trying to make a run for it as well.
And this is a guy we haven't seen or heard of a whole lot so far, but he is one of those development Babbitt's riders from that Monster Energy Babbitt's Kawasaki team. So sort of a younger teammate to the number 3 and the number 1 of Zach Ames and Tyler Bowers. But right now, not really looking like that, you know, the young rookie that they're trying to groom. He's looking solid, and he's found himself in a qualifying position. This is huge.
James Justice just behind that top 3 as well, trying to sneak into there. It's special for these guys in the Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross. They're not only trying to qualify for the main events here tonight. If they race at 3 separate events and they make it to the night show each one of those times, then they've earned that right to race Monster Energy Supercross in the 250 class. I think it's great. It develops the riders. Not only press day, being around this, a big fan base watching you. You're in a fishbowl in Arena Cross, teaches you a little bit of aggressiveness, but you're not thrown to the wolves.
Absolutely, but you know, for some of these guys, they are seasoned veterans of the Arena Cross series, like Kelly Smith. But some of these guys have aspirations to move on and go and challenge in Monster Energy Supercross. So a lot of different guys with different ambitions out there, but we know the number 5, he wants to win. He's been around a long time. He wants to win, and he'll do whatever it takes. But first, he's got to get through the LCQ before he can take it on.
Unbelievable. On lap 7 or 8, he's going to get the white flag. The next time around, he's outside looking in. Kelly Smith is a guy who's won motocross nationals before, been in the running at Supercross, and right now he's having a hard time struggling on that Team Faith machine trying to get by a rookie.
And he's running out of time because now we're coming to the white flag, last lap. So if you're a Colt 45 in that 2nd position, you know you're safe. You just got to stay there. Skaggs a little bit behind him. And leader, Daniel Blair, just got to keep it on 2 wheels. I'm sure these front 2 will be smart. Blair with those short legs, someone that loves to hop through the whoops when you see a lot of the other bigger guys just blitzing him. But it's effective, and it was enough to get the job done. Holds the inside and takes the LCQ, and he'll be going to the main event with number 45, Colt Nichols.
The Babbitt's Monster Energy Kawasaki, the final rider to transfer, Nathan Skaggs. Mr. Smith not gonna do it tonight. Wow. They'll have to wait for round number 3. The main event when we return. Welcome back to AMSOIL Arena Cross featuring Ricky Carmichael's Road to Supercross. It's almost main event time, but first let's go down trackside with Daniel Blair on a little 411.
What's up, AMSOIL Arena Cross fans? I'm Daniel Blair here at the Baltimore Arena. This weekend we have a slightly bigger arena. This gives the track builders the opportunity to build a little bit more creative of a track. So this week we're actually going to start outside the arena, up on top of this platform, also used as a stage for some rock concerts. We're going to fly off the top, drop down into the arena into the center lane. Then we'll have 4 full lanes of Arena Cross action, and should make for some great racing and definitely a little bit more creative track layout this weekend.
Should be fun. Mr. Blair's got to get ready for this main event number 1. He had to qualify through that last chance qualifier. You see your favorite rider scrolling across the top of the screen. Who's going to take this one? It seems like we have a different winner every night. Who's going to win this one, Gio?
You know what? If I was a fortune teller, I'd be a rich man. I have no idea. There's a lot of guys looking good, but the place to start to win a race is with the gate drop and a hole shot. Here we go. McDade with a great jump. Oh, and a lot of riders swapping there in the middle. Wow.
Hayes, the number 90, went from left to right.
That's because of that drop-off. You know, your wheel's in the air. You can't change direction. He went off a little sideways, almost created a pileup, but no harm, no foul. Out front, Mike McDade with that red number plate. Starting to look like he believes that he can win this championship.
Corey Green, a good start, the number 19 out of Oklahoma on that yellow Suzuki, back in 3rd.
And then we find in 4th place our defending champion Tyler Bowers after a miserable couple last main events. He is looking to redeem himself. Oh, and McDade almost loses a rear end. And behind him, a battle for second.
Yeah, look at Green and Hayes going at it. Two guys, and tucking the front end. I said something earlier. I didn't mean to jinx him. Tire selection. Was that just losing the front all on his own? I mean, what happened there?
Well, we've seen a couple guys go down that same section. As we look here, I mean, it just, I don't know. That was silly. It wasn't like he came in with too much of a head of steam. Just looked like he tried to rotate that rear, like pivot the bike in that turn, square it up, get out. And he didn't have that rear settled. And right there, you see the guys kind of dragging that brake. You see that shiny dirt coming through underneath.
In Monster Energy Supercross, I think Ryan Dungey very good at doing that, shooting up, squaring up through the corners.
Oh, Tyler Bowers saying, I'm here. He's got the inside. Watch that whoop speed. That's where Tyler Bowers is at his strongest. Takes that line away from Corey Green, so there's no retaliation. And I expect him to set his sights on the leader. Tyler Bowers now up to 2nd place, and his teammate Zach Ames now looking, going, hey, I need to get around the Suzuki rider too, and I'm going to tag in and follow my teammate and go to the front.
Any bad blood between the 1st and 2nd place rider after what happened at the 1st round where they both got together? You see Hayes in front, and now we see Ames trying to stick a wheel on Green. The bad blood between these two riders is Bowers have a little more red in his eyes trying to catch up with Hayes right now?
Absolutely. As we see Zach Ames getting around Corey Green for that 3rd. Oh, and see the tires washing out. But you see entering that turn, the dirt, it looks a little shinier, and you see that loose stuff on top. Marbles. It's a little bit deceiving. It is. It becomes like marbles. But out front, Jacob Hayes getting back what you said, Robbie. Of course these guys don't like each other. Hayes wants to beat Bowers, and Bowers doesn't want to be upset by the new rookie. So guaranteed these guys aren't having dinner off the track. When they get on the track, I'm pretty sure if we see them get closer, we might see a little rubbing.
I think you could be right. And that's one thing about Arenacross. It's kind of different than a lot of motorsports. Guys can be friends off the track, but when it's time to throw the goggles on, throw everything out the window, especially if they're not teammates. You see the nice form going through the whoops. You know, Zach Ames starting to close in a little bit back in 3rd. But you have to give it to the number 90 of Jacob Hayes on the Brewers Cycles Adams Performance Kawasaki. The North Carolinians looking strong out in front. I don't think Bowers is making up any ground right now.
Well, if you look at the front 3, they're running very similar lap times. They've had a couple bike lengths between them, so not a lot of action as far as passing. Looking a little bit further back, Kyle Regal, he looked good after winning that heat race, the head-to-head battle, but now he's coming under pressure from our newcomer, Aaron Plessinger, who's looked phenomenal tonight, really taking to this Baltimore circuit.
Right, good to see the rookie out there going against the Monster Energy Supercross veteran, and Regal gets shown how it's done. Arenacross style. Plessinger, he's hot after that win last night, trying to do it again here. Is there enough time? Lap 9 of 15. You see him squaring it up there as Hayes.
And you look up front, the gap still pretty similar between the front 3. Maybe Ames just losing the bike length or 2, but Bowers not quite to get close enough to make a challenge on Jacob Hayes yet. But I'm really impressed with Hayes. He's got the 2 favorites behind him, and he's ridden this like a veteran. Very solid. He's aggressive without making the mistakes, and his lap times are holding up, and he's still out in the lead.
Just watch. Pay attention to not only Hayes, but Ames and Bowers. Watch the tire spin that they have heading into these turns, into these whoops. Traction looks to be at a premium. Where they had too much last week, not enough right now, and if Ames or Bowers gets too aggressive, it can throw them down just as easily as it could launch them forward.
Well, absolutely. We've seen that with several riders. We've seen a lot of guys just losing the grip from underneath the tires. And that's what happens when you get that shiny stuff. You see it in some of the turns, what I'm just talking about. See the guys losing traction. So a lot of it is people seem to think that you control the wheel spin with the throttle, but really a lot of it is with the clutch. Your clutch is almost your traction control for these guys. So you've got to be good on the clutch. Watch these guys' fingers. They'll have 2 on the clutch, which is that left perch opposite the throttle hand, and the front brake there, using all these levers, trying to get around this track as quickly as you can without going down.
And another thing about a slippery track is how smooth you are. You try and square up all those faces. You don't want to be crooked as you're coming over the top of those whoops and stuff.
Speaking of crooked, unfortunately, Michael McDade heading back to the pits. It appears to be a flat tire, Robbie.
Another loss of traction definitely for him, but it's due to inflation issues. Hayes, just a couple of laps remaining, squares it up one more time. He's looking up to that flagger. You're saying, throw me the white, because I know the checker's coming next.
He's probably looking at the scoreboard, counting the laps down, because when you're leading right now, whether you're fit or not, you want that checkered flag like last lap. Right. I mean, you guys need to throw it out now. There's nothing to be gained, everything to lose. And he's feeling the pressure. It's always hard being hunted.
Also, yeah, being that first guy, that guy out in front, you're the first guy into lap traffic, and you never know what can happen coming into lap riders. White flag is out, last lap. Can Hayes hold on? Tyler Bowers about a 1.5 second distance behind him.
He's just got to get through these whoops. I think that's the only tricky part of the track, and he's looked good. He's stuck to that line. There's no traffic in front of him. He's only got a couple turns to go. Oh, I say that.
Anything can happen in front of you.
This is Arenacross. What am I talking about? But he's coming in the last turn. Another yellow flag. No one in front of him.
And the North Carolina boy takes it. Jacob Hayes with his Arenacross victory tonight on the Brewer Cycles Kawasaki. Tyler Bowers in second. Zach Ames in third. Plessinger, another strong ride tonight in fourth, followed by Kyle Riegel in fifth. Let's go down to Chrissy Lee, who's with Jacob.
Number 90, Jacob Hayes, one of the many new faces we see here in AMSOIL Arenacross. Although you're starting to become a familiar face, congratulations on your main 1 win tonight. How did you feel about that race?
Well, I got off to a good start, you know, that's key in these Arenacross, and the track's really slick. Good 15 consecutive laps, smooth and smart, and held off the champ Tyler Bowers. Big win for me. I know it's early in the season, but just got to keep plugging away. That first one's the hardest, so hopefully they start clicking after this.
Got that first one out of the way. Now it's time for his second Arenacross victory. We'll see if he can do it. Main event number 2 when we return. Welcome back to Baltimore on Fox Sports 1 for AMSOIL Arenacross featuring Ricky Carmichael's Road to Supercross. Main event 1 is done. And it looks like Hayes picks the number 8, meaning they will invert the top 8 riders. So the number 8 finishing guy, he gets first pick of the gate here. And it looks like Colt Humphreys gets that first gate pick. Colt 45, second to the inside. Not going to get the start he was looking for. That goes to Kyle Riegel. The Tough Racing 471 hits the dirt. Everybody falling. Looks like what a start. Half our field's down in that first turn, including Tyler Bowers.
Well, someone that may have got lucky out of that was Michael McDade. He was buried. He came from that second row, came into the first turn in about last position. I think he got through, so that may have helped him out. Plus, it took out several title contenders. Oh, and that's
the course worker having to do evasive action right there.
Hey, we say it's tight. Even the misses are tight.
Aaron Plessinger, strong number 57, looking for that second victory of the season. Out in front in this one. Look at him trying to do little mini scrubs. I mean, he didn't even make it to the jump. He's doing it in the whoop section.
He's one of these kids. He's got the handlebars a little bit lower. Maybe not the most beautiful riding style, but he knows how to get it done. What he does do is he uses his body to stay low over the rhythms, even through the whoop, staying on top. Behind him now, you see old
wheel spin
Willie Browning.
Wheel spin Willie. Good start for him. Hey, I don't care what happens around me. I'm out in front, and I'm going to try and win this thing.
Well, for these guys now, if they don't know already, I'm sure they've seen that some of the heavy hitters are down. So I think for these guys, some of them, the pressure is off. They're not expected to necessarily win, but they're in a position where any of these front few could win. 15 solid laps, don't make mistakes, and you know, it sounds easy from here, but it's doable.
I'm glad you mentioned the 15 laps. Last year, the main events were 12 laps. With them having that possibility of an inversion, the crew at Feld decided, hey, I think we need to give them a few more laps. I think that was a good move, because if you get a bad start, you still have a chance you know, to maybe work your way up in the front. 12, it started being a little dicey, and man, what happened to the 45 of Colton Nichols? The Babbitts Kawasaki was up there in second place, that second to third battle, and now he's out of the picture.
Well, not sure who he was down with, but there were definitely two riders down as we take a look a little further back. Tyler Bowers now starting to work his way back through, gets around Corey Green, just absolutely flawless in the whoops, carrying so much momentum. He's got to be frustrated. Lots and lots of just little things happening, but what it's resulting in is he's not getting the results.
Let's take a look at this one more time with Browning. Oh, and he clipped the inside and crossed lanes.
Whoa.
Hayes is going, where did you come from? Good thing that was a slow portion of the course, but you see how with the tight lanes like that, you know, bad things happen in a hurry.
Talk about wrong place, wrong time. Jacob Hayes has got to be going, are you kidding me?
The guy in the right place, in first place, is Aaron Plessinger. His dad, Scott Plessinger, the Grand National Cross Country champion. I've heard Plessinger, I said, there can't be too many Plessingers out there, but this kid is a true rookie. I mean, the name is known in the motorsports world, but it's his dad. It's good to see the second generation coming on strong.
Well, for this youngster, it's great to see things in the family. I know my father raced, and it's kind of indirectly why I wanted to get involved, and then I found the passion for the sport. But it's great to see this young rookie up front having a great one. I'm sure his dad's smiling ear to ear right now as we take a look behind. We got Willie Browning coming up over the finish line. Yeah, 9 of 15 laps completed, 6 more to go.
Motorsport.com, Spine Chillers Racing, teammate of Mike McDade, and he's trying a rhythm section in the whoops. We saw Blitz earlier. Now you're seeing a different approach to the same section.
Well, the reason you're seeing some of these guys change up the way they're doing the whoops is they're starting to get cupped out, which means they're getting broke down from all the wheel spin. When they get broke down, they get a little more sketchy, meaning the bike bounces around a little bit. As we see here, this battle now starting to tighten up. Mike McDade with the red plate in that third position, trying to hold on. He wants a podium, especially after coming from that second row. Zach Ames, another one of the guys that was caught up in some of that early mayhem. He wants to make hay while the sun shines and get on that box.
Remember, that red plate signifies the points leader coming into this round. Plessinger working through lap traffic, trying to get by the 2009 AMS Oil Arena Cross champion.
Who would have thought that?
Jeff
the
Gibson
rookie coming to lap the veteran.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And now, I thought he was going to make it 3 wide. I was like, there would be a lesson to be learned right there. But when you're the first guy to come into lap traffic, could it slow him up enough for Willie Browning to maybe make some ground up here?
Well, we say lap traffic. The problem is these tracks are so small and the racing's so tight that those guys are battling for a top 10 position, maybe a 6 or a 7. They don't want to pull over because the flags are waving. They're not going to make it difficult, but it's hard to just move over, especially with the way these tracks are designed. It keeps racing tight. A lot of the lines do funnel to the different.
There's Jacob Hayes having a hard time. We saw that incident with him with the cross traffic. The number 3, Zach Ames, in 4th, trying to catch up to 3rd place just in front of him. Landed a little hard in that section, trying to catch up to Mike McDade, who's in 3rd.
Great rebound after being further way back. But Plessinger out front.
You know, looking at the scores as it stands right now, with Plessinger a 4th in that first main event, he's leading this one. He could take his first overall win at his first race in AMS Oil Arena Cross if things stay the same.
That would be impressive. You see there, see that shiny stuff. McDade was on the binders from the time he landed out of those whoops and slid all the way to the top of the berm. So you can tell these guys, you know, if you brake too hard and lock up, you almost sometimes gain speed. But Plessinger riding this race to perfection, not overriding the track where it's slippery, but pushing it where he needs to. Gets the white flag, spotlights on him. This is his time to shine.
Yeah, this is cool for the kid. The Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross, this is one of the future stars right here. You're seeing it first in AMS Oil Arena Cross, the 57 out of Hamilton, Ohio, on the Pro Taper Smith Rockstar Star Racing Yamalube. Yamaha has one more turn. He takes the main event win, and that will give him his first ever AMS Oil Arena Cross overall. Congratulations, Aaron Plessinger.
Wow, such a veteran race from a rookie. Really impressed by him.
Yeah, look at the veterans behind him. Browning, McDade, Ames. Where do you see Tyler Bauer's name? It's not in that top 10.
As we look at the overall results from Saturday evening, Aaron Plessinger taking his first ever AMS Oil Arena Cross win. Zach Ames, Willie Browning, Jacob Hayes, and Keith Tucker, your top 5. 3 of the top 5 our Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross participant.
Well, the motorsport.com KTM, Willie Browning makes another podium this season. He's 2 for 2 in back-to-back weekends.
Willie Browning, we saw you take a 3rd overall last weekend in the season opener, and here you are again taking another 3rd overall for the night. How are you feeling? That confidence definitely boosted you for this weekend.
Yeah, you know, totally. It all starts with a good start. I had great starts. Maybe my qualifying times, I'm not a lap setter, but it was all in all, it was a great weekend. I'm pumped to be up here 3rd again. I can't thank motorsport.com, MJM Express, my mechanic, I mean, just Race Tech. We got great motors this year. Jesse Williams, can't thank everyone enough. 100% fuel clothing. Thanks.
Taking 2nd overall, Zach Ames, but it wasn't an easy ride to 2nd overall as he had to work his way through the pack as well.
Number 3, Zach Ames. Definitely some difficult conditions out there tonight on the track. Slippery track at that, as you mentioned earlier. And with all these new faces, these rookies coming here to AMSOIL Arenacross. Tell us about that race, and of course, congrats on your 2nd overall.
Yeah, thanks. You know, it was real difficult out there. The track was real slick, and you know, it's real hard to make passes when it's a freight train. You know, follow the leader. But no, I rode good. I just wanted to put my head down and do the best I can to make it out of this weekend. The first weekend was, you know, real rutted and tacky, and this weekend is real hard and slick. So complete opposites, and I think we're adapting pretty good, and I'm just thankful to be up here.
And big props to Aaron Plessinger, his first event in AMSOIL Arenacross. You can't get any better than the overall, and he did that here on night number 2.
Number 57, Aaron Plessinger, back on the podium again tonight, taking the 1st overall for the evening. We saw you up here earlier taking the Heat 2 win. Definitely a great weekend for you starting out in AMSOIL Arenacross. What are your thoughts moving forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's great being up here, getting the overall. I never thought I'd do it. I mean, it's my first weekend here, and expectations were pretty high, but not this high. I mean, it's a dream come true to race up here, and then the rest of the season, I mean, I guess my goal is to aim for the top spot since I know I can do it, and I know I have the speed, and I know I have the endurance. So just go get some more endurance, and know I can run with these guys and run up top. So that's the plans.
As we look at the championship point standings, another flip-flop in that top 2. Zach Ames takes back that points lead, 112 over the 104 of Mike McDade. So Ames will have that red number plate heading into the next round. So at stop number 1, it was Jacob Hayes. Stop number 2, Aaron Plessinger. This Ricky Carmichael Road to Supercross, it looks like a freeway in rush hour traffic.
Well, we've seen a lot of different outcomes in the first few rounds. We've seen the veterans making the mistakes and the rookies rising to the top. I've got a feeling the next 10 rounds are going to be incredible.
Yeah, when are these pros, when are these established vets going to get on that groove train? Well, we'll find out at our next stop, Louisville, Kentucky, as we take a look. It's a long tour, 12 stops on the AMSOIL Arenacross season. Next time, we'll be in Louisville, Kentucky. For Grant Langston, Christy Lee, I'm Robbie Floyd. You can always follow us online at arenacross.com. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll see you next time from Louisville.